let's go to the Pentagon for the latest. NBC's Carl Rochelle joins us now. And even though they're not in combat yet, Carl, the level of danger certainly is higher for troops at this hour.
Chris, it piques your attention a great deal when you are told that there is a missile inbound. I've been there, done that. In Desert Storm, I worked out of Dhahran, and many the night that I was awakened with the air raid sirens going off at the Dhahran Air Base, so I can share exactly what they are going through. And it came to the point, I did my firehouse drill. When I went to bed at night, I laid out my clothes in order, finishing off with a flak jacket and a helmet and my chemical weapons gear, and put it on. It does give you pause, but I always went outside because I wanted to see exactly what was going on. We do know that at least 2 missiles were fired in. We believe they were Al-Samouds that were fired into the Kuwait area. One of them was believed knocked down by a Patriot missile battery. The other one apparently destructed inbound. One of the things that Iraq does, sometimes they have modified those missiles, tried to extend the range or extend the kind of warhead that they could put in them, the potential warhead, and sometimes it causes those missiles to be unstable, and sometimes they will self-destruct in flight, and that perhaps is what happened to one of those missiles. But it certainly does give pause to those people who are in the area and who are waiting. And Chris, I'd suggest to you also talking to a senior government source who said that the attack that we saw last night, Wednesday evening, was exactly what was planned for the first stage. This was not the flash bang mission that we had been led to believe of missiles and aircraft going in and just literally devastating everything. This was exactly what was planned. The only change was when the CIA discovered where they believed Saddam Hussein and his military leaders were. They diverted some assets into Baghdad to try to take him out into that house that he was believed to be in. The 3 dozen or so Tomahawk missiles, the 2 F-117 fighters, they hit the target that they planned to hit. They don't know for sure whether they got Saddam Hussein, but I'm told he wasn't the only target. There were also several of his key military leaders in there, and they were also considered part of that equation. They wanted to take out as much of the hierarchy of the Iraqi military, and including Saddam Hussein, if they could, all in one stroke.
And one of the things we also know, Carl, is that obviously this war plan is extremely well laid out, and that the timing of it was laid out. But as we continue to hear from Andrea Mitchell and others that U.S. officials are looking into whether or not Saddam Hussein might have been killed, the possibility that he was indeed in that bunker and that he has been killed, that they are now voice printing that tape supposedly of Saddam that happened, that was released afterwards. How might that affect when this major air and land assault begins, if at all?
Well, Chris, I'm being told exactly the same thing that Andrea is, that they are not sure. If they are sure that Saddam Hussein has been killed or has been taken out of the equation, I suspect that the U.S. officials would try to approach whoever was remaining in power in Iraq and try to see if this could not be ended without going to the full level of attack. But as you noted, they are not sure. I am told that likely he did survive the attack. They're trying to determine that. They want to know if that videotape of Saddam Hussein is really Saddam or someone else, or if it was taped in advance. They noted that a couple of things. One, that it was taped. Another, that even though it mentioned the date of the attack, that it could have been pre-taped because it did not mention any of the specifics of the attack, any of where the bombs hit or any of where any of the missiles hit around the area. So that's what they are partially looking at to try to analyze whether it was mentioned to me that he could have taped several different ones. As you know, sometimes happens in the television business. You tape several different takes depending on how things come out. Well, he could have taped several in advance. He could have taped them yesterday or the day before, knowing when it was predicted that the deadline would take place. So that's what they're still trying to determine. But the sense is that he may very well have survived it, Chris.
Carl Rochelle at the Pentagon for us once again. Carl, thank you.